Brussels, capital city of the Kingdom of Belgium, a city as diverse as its inhabitants. Here you find Flemish townhouses, functional architecture, parks and pompous royal buildings located in short distance from futuristic facades. This is where official meetings take place, held by the European Parliament, the European Commission and the Council of the European Union. A number of other European institutions and bodies are also located here. This is the place where the Eurochild conference took place in July 2016. Eurochild is an organization that stands in for the rights of children and teenagers. The aim of Eurochild is to represent the interests of children and young people, invoking the UN Convention of Children's Rights. Eurochild operates at parliamentary level, but it is also a network created to address and tackle current affairs on a regular basis. So far, Eurochild conferences have been the privilege of parliamentarians. However, in 2016, for the very first time, it was designed as a conference for children and young people. The Matz reporters were invited to this event by the Bayerischer Jugendring to document the event in an international team.
My name is Nermina. I come from Bosnia and Herzegovina, from SS students villages.
Hey guys, I'm Melanie Rietveld. I'm 16 years old.
Hey, I'm Faima Elmi and I'm 15 years old.
And I'm Jim, I'm from Kosovo, from World Vision Organization in Kosovo.
Hello, I'm reporting live from a Eurochild conference.
And we are members of the Youth Task Force on Violence Against Children from the Netherlands.
The 2016 Eurochild conference was held under the slogan "Children's Rights Matter". Special focus was placed on children threatened by or living in poverty, on child refugees and on children placed in care. This time, the children were not merely subjects of debate. On the contrary, children and teenagers from the age of 12 were actively engaged in preparing, organizing, realizing and documenting the event. A great honor and a token of appreciation, Queen Mathilde of Belgium was present at the opening celebration.
As newly elected President of Eurochild, I am delighted to warmly welcome all of you to this, the 12th Eurochild Conference.
It is a real pleasure to be able to share some ideas with you. In my opinion, it is very important that we take this time to pause and reflect on the subject of children's rights.
My name is Chrysostomus, I'm also 16 and I am from Cyprus.
I'm Milica, I'm from Bosnia and Herzegovina and I'm 14.
I am Linda, I'm 14 and I'm from Estonia.
My name is Sean, I'm 17 and from Ireland.
After some time getting to know each other, taking a picture of the young delegations and the Matz reporters speaking to a queen for the very first time, the conference began. In the opening session, children and adults shared their experiences involving poverty, exclusion based on migration, and growing up in foster families or similar homes. Now, after this first conference day, which approaches have turned out to be worth considering?
There's a lot of work to do, honestly, but we're going in the right track. Children's active participation is the answer to the challenges that children face. I don't think it really makes sense that adults talk about children's rights without children being involved. So this conference was a proof that we're going on the right track.
People must more hear children than now. They must listen opinion of children and talk with them a lot.
I think I heard one solution of the problem of a children care institution. I think that the trainers and teachers should be the young men or women, because it's getting more understanding between children and the teacher.
Throughout the conference, I guess I have found that once you include children in all aspects of conversation, debating or just kind of talking, you get a better outcome.
Speaking of participation, a sizable number of excursions were provided at day 2 of the conference. Participants could choose from social and creative projects involving children and young people. In addition, they were invited to take part in a visit that aimed to give an impression of how participation of young people in Belgium looks like.
And today we are going to the Youth Parliament.
Yeah, we are very excited to go there and we're very curious about what they're doing and how they're different from us.
Especially since we're here with Eurochild. So, well, let's have fun.
Let's go!
First, a visit of the Parliament building.
We're here in the Commission room and we just learned how exactly the Belgian government works.
Yeah, it's a bit complicated. You have different regions, as you can see up there, with different ministers. And yeah, you have the parliament here where the people speak and audience can sit over there, but the only thing that they can do is listen. We just had a guide tour. We went through the historical rooms, which are made in the time of the Palace of Versailles.
We saw lots of beautiful decorations there. There were a lot of mythological aspects. We saw an infinite mirror in which you can see yourself an infinite amount of times. It was very lovely, and now we're having a small break.
Yes.
Next, a session of the Youth Parliament.
I participated in the last simulation of the Parlement Jeunesse.
What inspires you to do this?
I'm not in politics, so it's just by curiosity. I want to change the world, maybe, so want to see how I can do it.
Not all students will have to achieve all those goals.
I'm a law student and I've been part of the Youth Parliament for a year now.
And what inspires you to do this?
Maybe the hope in our society. So it's really the fact that we discuss important topics.
What's the biggest problem you and your group are facing?
Maybe too much enthusiasm. That's actually a problem in Youth Parliament because people go crazy and they don't want to stop talking.
Just show me your hand. I'm a member of the Youth Parliament. I want to do some politics after, so it's like, for me, a good training to know how it works. And actually we modernized the association, and now we have really a strong contact, a strong link with the real representatives, and so our works are read by people who are working here as a real representative.
And do you feel like you're being heard?
Yeah, actually we do. Not only in Youth Parliament, where everybody really listens to each other, but also because this year we presented our bills to the real Parliament for the first time. So we actually were heard by the real deputies, and that's really great.
I think we are heard on educational matter or stuff like this, but not really on main social issues.
Do you have something of a tip or a one-liner for our viewers?
Speak your mind. You don't realize how important your opinion is.
If you were president for one day, what would you change?
I think I will make it this Youth Parliament obligatory for every young people.
What would the participants of the Eurochild conference choose to do if they were the president for a day?
I would make sure children and young people have the same authority as a Member of Parliament does in many countries. So there'll be a youth parliament like in my country where they get to make big decisions and work with the members that are already there.
I would put at least 3 children in Parliament, as in they're not specifically attached to any political party, but they're just there to give advice. Like in our case, in the Council for Commissioner for Children, we have professionals, we have adults, and we also have children who help balance out the opinions. So if we do the same thing in a national parliament, I think it would do a world of good.
I'd like to make sure that there's a child present in every discussion that has anything to do about children.
Children need not just funds and money, they also need attention and hopes and even time. Children need to be given time.
A good example of how to spend precious time with children and young people was the excursion to the Follon Foundation, located outside Brussels on a farm belonging to the La Hulpe castle estates.
This morning we are really excited because we have to visit a really very nice place.
Apart from displaying a collection of works by Jean-Michel Follon, a Belgian artist who died in 2005, the foundation offers projects involving children and teenagers. Foster families that have grouped together in the La Porte Ouverte Association regularly participate in these projects.
We sometimes do these activities with foster children here. We think it really helps them coming out with potential and a lot of ideas.
Can you tell us how this work here helps to children who live in foster families?
They're really free to discover work of art as a kind of therapy, as a kind of new discovery. When you talk about art, it's not so loaded emotionally. You can relax a little bit more. So, for example, when you see in the contacts with the parents, when we think about art or we ask questions about art, there's always an answer. And it's not stressful, you know, we can talk about art so many ways. And it's interesting because when they come here, they say either I will show it to my parents or this is something I want to share with my family. It opens questions, but questions that are not harsh. It really lightens up the mood. For me, it's inspiring when I see them happy. I know it sounds very basic, but that's the idea, and that they feel included, however they integrate the difficult reality they are in.
What do you have to do just to let the kids speak, to be heard on some kind of events like this?
We want them to speak for themselves, to speak about their own views, their own perspectives. So it doesn't make sense for us to speak on behalf of them, really. So we try to find strategies so that they are there, like taking a jumper with us in Parliament, or, for example, here we took quotes of children to bring in, and that we had them review so that it's representative of what they are thinking. So they did the whole participative work from producing the quotes and reviewing them to see if it was really representing foster care for them. I don't want really to talk about them nor for them, but I wanted to bring their views in because they are underage, so they cannot come here and talk about their private lives just like that. And I have been thinking for months about an idea how to bring them in, because I wanted them to be there with us.
Is there any kind of big success that you made in those years?
I think in foster care there are never big successes because it's one child at a time, I guess, for every single family. I could say in Wallonia, Brussels, that nowadays there is really a change in mentality. There is a new campaign for foster family, that there is an awareness that we exist, that foster families need support. So there are changes going on legislatively. So I think these are successes. But when you talk to a foster mother and you ask her what the successes are on a daily basis, making it possible for a foster child with specific needs to go to school and be completely included in a normal school. Yeah, I would say that's, for example, one of the biggest successes.
Then, the participants took part in debates and workshops. The topics discussed were diverse: children's rights in care facilities, child poverty, social exclusion, participation of children, and the use of technology to enhance children's safety. The Human Library was a fantastic idea. There, experts and people affected by these issues could be invited to talk to the work groups about their experiences. What sorts of memories are the Eurochild participants taking home?
The best thing I've heard is what a girl from a country that I spoke to, every Monday they do food banks for anybody who needs food. They can go and get some, and it's fresh food that will last longer, and I think that's a really good idea.
The best thing has has to have been like that noise, that communication. Like you would hear people talking to each other and they didn't even know each other, and they were talking about where they've come from and they were sharing their experiences, and you could see like bonds being created.
Yeah, we must do in Ukraine a lot of conference about children rights, and more have a lot of support for it.
In the evening, a festive dinner was held. Before, on day 3, the conference's final declaration was adopted. The declaration has been handed to several members of parliament and joint discussions have taken place. The findings of this conference will certainly be fed into policy making, even though there are no tangible results so far. Still, one measure has been taken. Eurochild has decided that, with immediate effect and for all matters of concern, children and teenagers shall become involved in the decision-making process and given the chance to speak for themselves. No doubt, this is a good step in the right direction.